So I bought this planer a long time ago, and back when I bought it, it didn't come with the tables. Sometimes it comes with the folding table, sometimes it doesn't. Mine didn't, and I just lived with it. I tried making a sub table out of melamine. I think Jay Bates was the first person I saw do that, where you lay a piece of melamine on the blade, and then you just raise your planer a little bit, and you slide your board on that. Now, I'm on a flip top stand, so it can only extend out a few inches, but it seemed to help a bit. But after a while, the melamine coating wore through, and I just took it off and I never replaced it. And you know, I've been watching for years, and they just never seem to go on sale. And finally, I'm like, you know, just get it. And so, but if I'm going to get it, I want to find out if it really does make things any better. And like all planers, I get a little bit of snipe on this. It's never that much, and so it hasn't bothered me that much. You can kind of work around it by, you know, how you hold the board when it goes in, and if you hold it when it comes out, so that it, you know, so it's not kicking up so much. But the reality is it seems like almost every planer gives you a little bit of snipe, and you know, the smartest thing to do is just, you know, make sure you either it doesn't matter to the project, like if you can turn it to the back or underneath of a project, or you know, make sure that your boards are like 3 inches longer so you can just cut it off. So yeah, there's two reasons why I got the tray. Number one is to hopefully reduce the snipe, and number two is on the outfeed side, this is really short, and so what I find will happen is if I'm standing over here and I'm feeding a board through, and then I might feed the next board through, and then if I don't get here quick enough, the board will come through, and as soon as it gets past the rollers, it'll drop like this, and then the other board will come behind it and it'll jam completely. And so the table tray should give you just a little bit more support as the board piece comes out, so that it's not going to drop and get jammed inside the planer like that. And you know, the third reason, so I guess there's three reasons. The third reason is I just wanted to buy something. We all do that, let's admit it. You just want a new tool every now and then. So this was the hard part. I went through my stack of boards and I picked out some boards that I don't really care about because I'm just going to do a bunch of planing now. And I'm pretty sure this is maple. I've got some maple boards, got some oak and a bit of ash, and I have some pine and spruce. And so I'm going to run some test boards, and actually I'm just thinking I don't have enough test boards because I got to run test boards without the trays, and I got to run some test boards with the trays. And I can't just take measurements and then reuse them because I'm probably going to need to be able to show them. I might need some more wood. And I'm just turning it into planer shavings. Oh, that sucks. Give me a minute here. Okay, I did some sorting and cutting and arranging, and I think we're good now. Got 2 pieces of pine, 2 pieces of spruce, 2 pieces of cedar. We got 2 chunks of acacia. I got 2 pieces of ash, 2 pieces of maple, and this is oak. And you know, that might be more ash, but it might be oak, but actually it's probably ash. Got some hardwood, got some softwood. Yeah, so here's the disclaimer part. I'm just some guy messing around in his shop who's got some experience with woodworking. I'm just gonna see what I can figure out that satisfies me, and I'll just take you along for the ride. So let me divide this up now into the with and without the tray pile. Put these aside, and I'll use these after I get the tray installed. And here's all the set that I'm just gonna run through now and have a look at what kind of snipe and situation we're getting. And isn't watching somebody plane really fun? I might compress that just a little bit. Yeah, these are all different thicknesses because it's just what came off of my shelf. You can either take that as an example of how unscientific I am, or you can take that as an example of how real I am, because I'm just like any other woodworker. I'm just gonna work with what's on my shelf. So let me talk a little bit about technique. I tried to just use the planer like I normally use the planer. So I fed the board through until I got a nice clean cut. I would flip it over, do the other side, and usually I tried to have at least 2 runs through on the finished surface, just so we could see as much as possible about the snipe if there was. I also made sure I kept feeding each board always the same way, so we can see if there's a difference between beginning and ending snipe. Here's the cedar, and the snipe line is very visible right there. That's the trailing edge. The leading edge is a little bit less visible. Let's try the other side. Yeah, I can see the line here. Oak. I can feel it, and I can just see it right here. Maple's got a snipe line, mostly on the tail end. Pine, this one's very visible. You can just see it right there along the edge of my thumb. Here I can feel it, but I can't see it. Not much with this piece. Yeah, the acacia wood, the color really hides things. Here I can feel it. Let's try the other side. Yeah, right. I can feel it right here. And here's the piece of 2x10. I forget what it was. Yeah, there's you can see the snipe line, very visible. But really not bad. 1793, 1795. So call it 1806, 1805. Here's my highly scientific results. You can, take a screenshot of this if you really want to look at it. So it's some interesting results. I'd never really noticed that the front and the back of the board were different. However, so the front of the board, the part that you're sticking in the planer first versus the back of the board. The back of the board, I'm getting somewhere between 0.15 and 0.2 millimeters of snipe. The front of the board, it's more around 0.1 millimeter, and yeah, 0.1 millimeter. It's really interesting how, like on some of these boards, you can see it and your finger can touch it, but when you measure it, 0.15 millimeter. So that's my before results. Now let's take a look at those infeed outfeed trays. Okay, so this is the DW735 tables. No surprise, because it's the 735 planer. A little bit of hardware, a couple of tables, and some instructions. Unfortunately, step one's going to be taking it off my mount, because you have to be able to get at the underside of the table. Oh boy, that's heavy. Dust collector kind of gets in the way of flipping it up. Okay, now let's do some adjusting. So I used the adjusting screws and I adjusted the table so that it's nice and flush here, but as you bring the straight edge, there is a little gap here, both front and back on both sides. That's what I read was recommended. The idea here is that it's flush here, and then here it's raised just a touch to help combat the tendency of the board to kick up under the cutter head as it passes the last roller. Let's give it a try. So the spruce, I'm not seeing or feeling anything. The acacia, I can feel it on the front, but I'm not seeing it. The pine, I can feel it, but I'm not seeing it. Maple, yeah, I feel it. I can maybe see it just sort of at the angle here. Same here, I can just feel it on the maple. Use the ash and Wow. Yeah, I think I can feel it. It's not much, but it's hardly, I think there's something here. It's hard. Yeah, I can see the line here now, just at the right angle. And finally the cedar. The cedar has got a very visible line here, but it doesn't feel like much. So they passed the feel touch and the look touch. Let's check the numbers, and keep in mind this is like only the first time I've used it and I've barely adjusted it. 3404, 3408, 3402, 3406. Okay, here's my after, and you want to take a screenshot, you can grab it now and compare that to the before. So the numbers seem to confirm what my fingers were telling me. I'm getting, like, on the spruce I had basically nothing compared to 0.1 and 0.2 millimeters before. On the acacia I had basically nothing that I could measure versus, well, 0.05. The acacia actually wasn't a good comparison. The pine I had 0.1 or 0.15 before, and now I had nothing or 0.1. This time I had ash. The ash didn't work out the first time. The maple is actually fairly similar, say a 0.1 to a 0.2, so it's pretty similar with or without the tables. And the cedar is also a little better. That was 0.15 or 2 over there, and now I'm getting 0.1. They're close, but certainly the spruce and the pine were much better, which is interesting. Those are the softwoods. Softwoods are probably more inclined to crush down anyways when they go through the rollers. So again, this is me playing in the shop. This is not a scientific test because there's only one planer, one guy, a small assortment of wood done over the course of about 45 to 60 minutes of planing total. That's not really data. That's a guy playing in his shop. That's an anecdote. I'm pretty satisfied because my eyes and my fingers were telling me that it was better and bear in mind, I've only barely adjusted these. You know, this is my first crack at adjusting them, so I think they turned out really well. And remember, I had 3 things going into this. I mean, the snipe was nice. I think I've got the snipe a little bit better, but I never really had a whole big problem with snipe anyways. I've read on forums and YouTube comments, other people seem to have worse experiences with snipe than me, so maybe there's variation among planers, among even within the company. The whole tipping is better. With short boards, they come out nicely. They don't tip and get jammed. With long boards, you still got to watch that. And of course, I got to buy a new tool or a tool attachment and play in my shop. So that's a win. Okay, guys, I think that's about it for this one. I hope you found something interesting and enjoyable. Seriously, I think it's better. Is it worth the $80 that it cost me? 80 bucks Canadian? Well, that's up to you. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. I hope you had some fun in the shop like I did, and we'll see you on the next one.